Hey!
Good
Hello,
morning, Matt.
world. Good morning, Chloe. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm great. Great.
Yeah.
It's finally cooled off.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I
Happy
don't.
September.
Happy September.
Yeah.
Uh, it's I don't have to sweat as much anymore, and I'm excited about it.
Right. Right.
It's
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful out this morning. I took the dog out for a nice little morning walk before the show.
oh
And
good.
yeah, I was able to like walk it comfortably in
Yeah.
like jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And not like be like, oh, I wish I had a jacket,
Can
or
open a
oh, I'm sweating.
window. When you're inside, it's just right.
It's just right.
It's just right.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hello Weekend.
Welcome.
Welcome. Please do give a shout out in the chat if you're there. Looks like it might just be me so far. That's all right. I'll just talk to myself. Oh, the food in my beard is here too. Yeah.
Hooray!
Spoiler.
Oh man.
He's our
Yeah.
guest.
Yes.
And Pfeiffer's here and hard at work. Wonderful.
Oh,
Well, thank
welcome
you
to
for
Pfeiffer. Thanks for
thank you
attending.
for letting us come in and hang out with you while you're working today.
Yeah.
We hope to be not too much of a distraction.
It's a great background show. It's a great like chilling out, getting your little Friday work done.
Yeah.
Background chill out show.
Yeah. We're chatting up at the top because I have some videos I want to show, but I don't want to show them until more people get here because I don't want anybody to miss them.
They're very important videos.
They're very important videos. So, Chloe, how was your week? Anything exciting happen over the week?
Oh man, I went to 2 different birthday parties.
What?
Yeah.
Were they outside?
One was outside and one was inside Aeronaut Brewery.
Okay.
Which, they don't have anything there for me anyway because of the glutens.
There's so much gluten there. In fact, that's pretty much all that place is gluten.
Around. I'd have to wear a mask even if it wasn't a pandemic.
Everybody was masked though. People were masked and
yeah, I mean like unless they were eating and drinking. But I've got I've got a can 95, so I'm not super worried. It's pink. It's fashionable. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, I got one of those masks that cover my whole face, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfy.
The mask mandate is back in place for Cambridge, Somerville, and Boston.
Good. I'm so like that's great. Like do it. Yeah. Like people should wear it voluntarily anyway. But if you have to mandate it, then mandate it. It's like a seatbelt. It's like you gotta be safe, and it's not about you. It's about keeping other people safe.
Let's be kind and keep each other safe.
Yeah, let's just do that.
But yeah, so that was pretty exciting. One of them was a bonfire, and they had these little packets of I guess magic dust that you can like throw on the fire, and it changes the color of the flames.
That's chemicals. You just threw chemicals into the fire.
That's science. Or possibly
magic.
Wizardry.
Possibly wizardry.
I don't know where they bought these packets.
Nope. If they bought them from a old man on the edge of town from a wagon.
Like, imagine like being like a pioneer, and someone shows up and changes the color of your fire.
I mean,
you would do anything that person told you.
I would do anything that person told me.
Magic.
Yeah, 100%. So we didn't announce it last week like I thought I was going to, but we did announce last Friday on Facebook that my wife and I are having a baby, which I'm very excited about. It's our first.
Baby Fear is on the way.
Baby Fear is on the way. And thank you, Pfeiffer. Yeah, it's going to be It's going to be interesting. I will say this: you probably won't be seeing me on stream nearly as much starting in February, or if you do, I don't know. I'll have to set up like a little,
like harried.
Yeah. Prepare for all the rest of this to go just white and just all over the place.
Like a rag on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to look as put together as I usually do.
Not going to look good. You're going to look like a dad, and that's a great look.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've started the nesting process. I've got a garbage bag full of like socks with holes in them, and I don't know why I was keeping all this stuff, but I was. But now it's time to now it's time for the purge.
You gotta make room.
Gotta make room. And the husky's gonna have to get used to. Yeah. Oh God. So I was walking by. So at the cafe that I work at, it's in the Reebok building, so I can walk by and see like the samples and things of the shoes that they're working on, and there was a whole rack of baby shoes, and I was like, I love baby sneakers.
They're so tiny.
They're so tiny, and they're just so adorable.
They fit in your palm.
Yeah, you could fit like at least two pair in your palm.
Yeah.
Like, depending on how big your hands are.
I've got pretty big hands, so.
I didn't want to say it. But everybody's talking about
it's a well-known fact. I'm just going to clear the air right now. You guys can talk about my big hands. I know, I'm aware.
I mean, they're massive. They're just. And that just shows you how large your head is as well. I mean, it's just...
well. I was an elephant in another life.
Man.
Well, but the thing is, though, that it makes my wrists look very small and delicate. And I can hold more stuff.
You can. Yeah.
I'm not mad about it. That's the same thing of like, I have big feet too. And I'm like, I don't understand how people stay balanced on smaller feet.
Yeah, it's like, just like you would think.
I'm barely holding on with my size 11s. Like, how are you?
Right? It's like flippers sometimes.
Yeah.
Pfeiffer says your hands are perfect for slapping. If you need to go into a slap fight.
I did have in Dinner Detective. I had a role where I got to slap someone.
Yeah, I think you might have slapped me a couple of times.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I was very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
So
no stage slaps from this one.
Nope.
You got the real slap.
Proximity, the audience was right there, so they had to know.
They had to know that it was for real.
I wasn't messing around.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, that's been what's kind of going on with our week as well. Just kind of, every day it's just we're a little closer. I get these daily emails. My wife signed me up for a like an email list that says, it's every day. This is what's happening with your baby. This is what's
comparing your baby to vegetables or
no, it doesnin do that.
Small animals.
No. Let's see. Like today, it's today the umbilical cord is growing stronger in order to better support the baby. So yeah, just little. It's a little. Has how many weeks? We're 22 weeks and 5 days away. Yeah, we're looking at beginning of February. So. That'll be, I looked it up. They will be, I believe, an Aquarius.
Yeah, that is correct.
So.
A little upset that I know that, but.
Right. And now is August 8th is a Leo, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Leo is what sign? Is Leo
Leo's a lion.
No, I know Leo's a lion, but is it an earth sign, a fire sign?
It's a fire sign.
It's a fire sign. Okay. Yeah. So we have a fire sign and a water sign, and Aquarius is a water sign.
Aquarius is actually air sign.
What?
It's the water bearer.
Oh.
He carries water, but he's not actually water.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a person carrying a jug of water.
I thought so. What's the fish is Pisces.
Yeah, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Which the Scorpio doesn't make any sense either.
That doesn't make sense either.
It's a desert creature. But I digress.
I digress.
It's going to be a little air sign baby.
Little air sign baby. Oh, very excited. Very excited.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I do believe we've gotten to the point in the show where it's time to go back and look at some of the TikToks I looked at this week. I am obsessed
about TikTok, and
I'm obsessed with TikTok right now. And one of the hold on.
Have you encountered the TikToks that say, "Hey, stop scrolling and go to bed"?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, so you're okay. So you're doing okay. All right.
Yeah. One of the ones that I have become a huge fan of is TikTok. It's puppy songs. We watched, I think last week we watched the cheese. Did we watch the cheese?
We watched the cheese song.
Okay, there are so many more songs that they have, and this is one that they posted a day ago, and here it is.
Puppy walk, going on a puppy walk. Gotta put my little harness on, 'cause we're going on a puppy walk. Cruising all around the block. When I see another dog, I give a little friendly bark. When I'm going on a puppy walk, there's no time to stop and talk. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 'cause I'm on a puppy walk. On a puppy walk. Going on a puppy walk. Going on a puppy walk. Cruising all around the block. Going on a puppy walk.
So that's the puppy walk song.
Let's go, let's go, let's
There's
go.
so much. Oh, they put a lot into this.
Oh, it's so great.
It's great. It was like an organ solo.
Oh yeah. So go check out puppy songs and see that. There's another one that they
It's a very accurate depiction of a puppy walk. That's what it's like.
This is this is one that I sing to my wife all the time because so these are two of the same one, but I'm going to show both. This is the solo, and then there's
I just heard a little noise outside. What could be going on? Could it be mine? Oh, could it be mine? I think it's mine. I just heard.
Okay, so that's the, and then they did that's wrong way.
I just heard a little noise outside. What could be going on? Could it be mine? Oh, could it be mine? I think it's mine.
So that's the
sweet harmony.
I know, right? They need the low harmony, so I think I'm need to figure out the low harmony on that.
Put Annie on the screen.
Oh, because Annie does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
She starting at 3:30, she posts herself at the window, and just goes nuts. And then finally, this is one that I just found. Last night. This is Eggnog the Bulldog. I love bulldogs.
That's an excellent name for a bull. I would not have thought of that. But that's an excellent name for a bulldog.
Yeah. Eggnog the Bulldog. And this is him asking for some food. Here we go.
Dirty lady, I want the nuggets. I'm the dirty lady. Hey, why you not there? Hey, dirty lady, I want the nuggets, Mom.
Hey, dude.
Mom, tell her I want the nuggets. Okay, why don't you open the window?
Just look at
Hey, lady! Hey, Mom. Dirty lady.
Tell the lady I want the nuggets. Now I know that that's not the dog actually talking. I'm aware of that, but it's still very funny.
I think that's he could. That's what he'd be saying.
That's what he'd be saying.
He's got the nugget madness, much like Buddy Joe gets the fry madness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if the C word is said in the house, the CHEESE word, if I say that out loud.
Really? I
then
thought you were gonna say chicken.
no. Yeah. If they hear that rhymes with
good.
bees,
Yeah.
it's a problem. Gracie gets wide-eyed,
Mm-hmm.
and she just starts drooling.
Her eyes and she's...
Yeah.
That's what the Fry Madness looks like.
Yeah, it's like when their eyes go all black in like the movies, and
like Twilight.
They're I don't know. Does that happen in Twilight?
I think so. Oh, I can't believe I've seen Twilight. Wait, no, I saw it on Plus. I think it was an athletic event, and I was...
Okay, you don't have to justify yourself to us if you watched and enjoyed the movie Twilight.
No shame in watching Twilight, but I wouldn't have chosen it for myself.
But Viper says our cat comes and sits with us at dinner like every day. Oh, like the meme. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, we eat in the living room in front of the TV like real Americans.
Yeah.
And our pups they don't really beg during dinner, but they'll come in and they'll lay down and lay at our feet, and it's really nice. But dogs do love treats.
They do.
As is evident by the video that Chloe sent. Segway, nailed it.
So good at segues. You guys, this dog. I think there should be more animal cameos on TV in general. But this one was particularly good.
All right, let's see this.
Storms. What do we have here? Some darker clouds. Not expecting any rain on this Friday evening, but yeah, that looks rather menacing. I'm guessing it's a bit of a lake breeze perhaps set up. 24 degrees, winds from the southeast now at 17 kilometers per hour. Here's your forecast as we go through the day tomorrow. Yes, storm is in the building, getting some treats, walking on thin air. 24 degrees.
This is perfect.
Late tomorrow evening when those thunderstorms are possible. But for much of the day, it's dry. 26 during the afternoon and an east-southeast wind. The humidex will be a thing already by afternoon. 34, 35 in the city. 22 right now in Montreal. Look how cool it is. Back to the west. 15 Winnipeg, 19 in Regina. And as we head to the tropics, this is really the big weather story over the next couple of days. Hurricane Ida now making land across the Gulf. And for us,
like the very end.
Thunderstorms.
Oh, like the very end?
Who I heard is watching.
I guess he does have it. He must have a huge green screen.
23 degrees.
He what?
He must have a huge green screen in his house. Like, he must be working from home.
Oh, yeah.
Why are there treats right in the middle of his green screen?
I don't know. I mean,
He's acting like he was upset about this dog showing up, but I think it was a setup.
It might have been. My guess is he has a green screen. If he's a weatherman, he probably has a green screen room.
That makes sense.
Where it's all green screen.
His Imaginarium.
Yeah, it's like the holodeck.
The dog's name is Storm.
And I love that. I mean, not very original for a weatherman, but
if you're going to be a weatherman and you're going to have a dog,
you might as well name him Storm.
You got to name him after some sort of weather phenomenon.
Yeah, and plus he's got, Storm's got that coat, kind of looks like a little storm cloud.
Bunch of little tornadoes all over.
Bunch of little tornadoes. Just so cute. So that's what we refer to as the Puppers Corner here on Hello Weekend.
The pup date.
The pup date. The weekly pup date. Oh, God, that was so much better.
Well, that's why I'm here, Matt. You if you fumble it and I get it, I grab it and save it.
Wow.
Get it.
Then I'll make there we go. Weekly pup date. I love that. We'll start doing that. Weekly. It's the weekly pup date.
Weekly pup date. Great way to
start. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I think it's time to bring on our first guest today. Our guest today. Just our guest.
Our
guest who's going to hang out with us for the rest of the morning or until he decides he wants to leave. It's completely up to him. Very excited to have this. No pressure whatsoever. Very excited to have this gentleman on the podcast. Like this is a podcast on the show. Please welcome Dan Whalen. Dan, hi.
Hey, I didn't realize I was promoted to a full-time co-host.
You are. Now, Chloe made a crack about how I fumble things, and now, you're
interviewing new people.
And now I'm interviewing new co-hosts.
Good luck, Dan.
Dan, if you were a co-host, would you ever insult your fellow co-host? If so, why?
Wow. You don't have to answer that.
Please answer the question, Dan.
Only if they, if they really deserved it.
Only if they, and I probably really deserved
it.
And I probably did.
Okay.
Dan, hi. Welcome to the show. Where are you calling us from this morning?
I'm here in beautiful Columbus, Ohio.
Beautiful Columbus, Ohio. Now, last I saw you, you were in beautiful downtown Cambridge at Improv Boston, but you are no longer there, and neither is Improv Boston. But when did you make the move out to Columbus?
We came here about a year ago.
Okay.
Mid-pandemic, and just
great time to move.
Yeah. There's the longer story, there's the medium story, but it started to feel like we have both been in Boston for a long time, my wife Georgina and I, and she started working from home for the pandemic, and we had a 500 square foot studio, and we were like, what are we going to do next? And she started looking for another job, and she almost got a job here in Columbus, and we were thinking of it. We were like, should we go? And she didn't get that job. She did get a job where she could live anywhere, and so nice. We're saying, well, we both can work from anywhere, so we started looking at like Austin, Denver, the usual suspects that people look at, and we were like, we almost went to Columbus, and it kept coming back in the conversation, and we said, this is the place, like, let's do it. So we've been really happy being here the past year.
That's awesome, because you have so much more space, right? Like yes. in a pandemic, you're saying you were in a 500 square foot apartment, and you were saying before the show that this was like right in the middle of everything, and which is great when you can go out and do those things.
Yeah, exactly. And we can still live like downtown Columbus here, but we have probably 3 times the space. We have doors and rooms, which is a nice thing to have. And, we pay less, and we love it. And I shoot content. That's like my job. So, it's hard for me. We were in the situation where she was on Zooms for work, and I was like standing there with like food in a pan, just waiting for her to be done so I could start cooking and she could do her thing. So
like switch.
Yeah.
Tradesies. Yeah. It's much better to have doors in that sort of situation.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, it wouldn't be this show unless we talked about the Midwest at least once.
At least once. Yeah. And is this, so I know that Ohio, I've heard some advertisements that Ohio wants people to move there because they're giving tax breaks to businesses, stuff like that. Is this a commercial for Ohio?
Yeah, you have to put the paid partnership tag on the
Oh, Ohio Tourism Board, show us that money.
Right.
Sponsor us, please. We'll do anything. We'll move to Ohio.
I mean, we could just as easily do this show in Ohio.
That's true.
I mean,
that's basically the conversation we had before we moved here. We could basically do this in Ohio.
When the internet is your office, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah. So
for cheaper. And cheaper is the big, and it's not just a little cheaper either. It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And everything is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you talked about filming content. This is my favorite. I can't wait. What kind of content do you make?
I do food videos, like the kind you see online where it's like a really quick food video, or I do longer ones where I'm talking. I got the plants behind me, so it looks like I have this fun, great kitchen, which I do.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it looks like you do have a
It's
fun
nice.
and great kitchen. It's super nice. I mean, much cleaner than my kitchen currently.
Yeah, so it's fun, and it took me a long time. I've been doing this for 13 years now,
Wow.
and it's interesting the way the internet works, because you're like, I can take a picture of this food and people like it. Oh, now you have to make videos. Okay, I'll make videos. Now you have to be in the videos. Okay, I'll be in the videos. Now you have to go live. Okay, sure, I'll go live now if you want me to. And actually, that's why I did improv, because I realized I had to be on video now.
That's
so I started. My first book came out, and I got asked to be on QVC, and it was like kind of a nightmare. And my agent was like, let's get you in an improv class.
Well, yeah. Thanks to your agent for that. So what was it like being on QVC? Like, how was that experience?
What particular kind of nightmare was it?
Yeah. Let's talk. Let's delve more into the nightmare.
It's I don't know how familiar you are with QVC, but there's this guy named David, and he has this thing called David in the Kitchen, and he's like maybe 9 feet tall. And he my first book was called Stuffed, and it's all one thing stuffed in another thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
He was doing this weird thing. I don't remember what month it was, maybe September or something. He's like, it's called Stuffed September, and he was promoting all these products where you could like stuff things, stuffed burgers or empanadas or whatever, raviolis. And so he's like, we got to have this guy. He has this book. And so when you go on QVC, they make you come down, and they like make sure you're good enough to be on there. And most of the people on there, like at that training session, were makeup people who were training to like be like regular guests, I guess.
Oh, interesting.
And I didn't pass the test, but the David guy apparently was just like, no, he needs to be on there. Like, we're doing this. So I go. He like talked circles around me, because I think when we talked, I think they warmed him up to be like, this guy's not great. So so when I came on, he just went. And then right as I leave, like, they have real-time numbers, and they have earpieces, and they'll be like, when you mentioned meatloaf, we sold 20 books. So go back to the meatloaf. Like, that's how it works on there.
Wow.
So right when I left, a producer like grabs me, and he's like, that was terrible, and threw me into the green room. And I was just like, what do you mean? But for me, it still sold so many books. So for me, it was a win, but for them, like, maybe it wasn't. And when I watched
this
the
is like
segment,
a weird operation that they just immediately they did a terrible job.
Like, we know that you're not a trained television personality that hasn't been doing this for a good long time. You're also not 9 feet tall. So we're just going to say it plain. That sucked.
Yeah, it was very, very awkward, strange, and I'm still embarrassed when I watch the video, but I should just own it at this point, because I mean, I've come a long way.
And that's not you. That's on them. That's on them.
Yeah.
They should, like, if they didn't want it to be terrible, they should have put a little bit of, work into
like
it.
you say, you got some books sold, so.
And you got some books sold.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's
I was
awesome.
able to continue writing books, so.
So your first book was called Stuffed. What would you say your favorite thing to stuff in your other favorite thing? Like, if you could have the perfect stuffed meal, what would it be?
A lot of those recipes had mac and cheese involved somehow.
Oh yeah.
They were in a burger. They were like the outside of a croquette sort of thing. They were just everywhere. Mac and cheese was everywhere.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese is a plural, I guess. Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese eye?
Yeah. But
cheeses?
I probably would say ravioli is my favorite.
Classic.
Do you like the fried? Have you had the fried ravioli from? Yeah.
Which is apparently like a New England specialty.
Oh, is it? I thought it was a St. Louis specialty. I thought it was a.
It is St. Louis too. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, fried ravioli is not like does not have to be boxed up in just one part of the country. Like we can.
But I guess what I was getting at is that like it is regional. It's not just like everywhere.
Yeah. I wonder whose is better.
Never heard of it.
I'd love to. Really? You've never heard of fried ravioli? Oh, it's so good.
Well, I guess part of that is that I just don't eat as much pasta because of the glutens. But, yeah. I don't know. I've always been more a spaghetti person.
They often also call it toasted ravioli. So you may not have thought it was fried when you read the description.
That does
toasted makes it sound more healthy.
Yeah.
Makes it sound less of something you get at a Guy Fieri restaurant.
Yeah.
If you
now
call
I'm
it
thinking
toasted.
of like a huge ravioli that you put in like a toaster.
Like a toaster strudel, but it's a
Pop-Tart.
ravioli instead. But it's savory, so
it's
it has
savory Pop-Tart.
it has ground lamb in it.
So Dan, you're welcome. We just gave you a great idea. You can go back on QVC, sell your toasted raviolis, and you'll do great because you've had the improv classes now.
Also, as soon as we're done with this show, Dan, I will have about a page and a half of notes for you. So just be just be ready for that.
Matt, I don't think he's gonna want to be your co-host.
I don't think he is either. I'm just gonna have to. I think I'm just gonna have to stick with what I know, and that's you.
Yeah,
Chloe.
I'm expecting an email immediately when I. That was terrible.
Oh well, now I want to do it as a bit, but hashtag respect the bit. Real quick, I do want to just derail for a second and just compliment Chloe's glasses. Your glasses are on point today. I love them.
Yeah. Well, these are my blue light glasses.
Mm-hmm. But I love they're little cat eye
glasses. A little bit mysterious librarian and a little bit like harried scientist. That I'm trying to warn everyone about a global crisis and no one's listening to me. My glasses are too cool.
So
I was going to say harried librarian.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that is the intersection of those two things.
What were you saying, Dan? What did you say, Dan?
So every scientist right now.
Every scientist, scientist. Especially now when people are like, well, science isn't a real thing. Oh, God. I love watching scientists on TikTok talk about just like they'll like show a video of something happening and then they'll just either be right next to it or they'll cut in and be like, that's complete bullshit.
That's I love TikTok scientists. They're very helpful.
God. Are you Dan, do you do TikTok videos? Are you on the TikTok yet?
I do. I've had some good ones. I've had some not good ones.
And is it food in the beard?
It's either TFIMB or the food in my beard, based on all my.
Oh, there it is. I'm gonna add you right now. Follow. You just got one more follower live, and oh my goodness! Immediately I see lobster sliders, which I'm very excited about. I'm very excited about. Food videos on TikTok have been a huge thing for me. Like I've loved watching people make that stuff.
Yeah, it's fun, and they have the fun trends. And me being a 13-year-old veteran of the industry.
It's like you look
really
like very old for a 13-year-old.
What like goes viral and stuff. I'm like, I've made this before, but it's viral now. Or like, I just get like crusty old man.
Yeah. Well, it's such a fast pace. Like it's hard to keep up. Of like if you don't do the trend the day you find out about it, you've missed it.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys put feta in a baking dish with pasta, and then you stir it, and that's what you're eating for dinner. And then like every person in the world did it, and they still do it. It's very trendy.
I don't care for feta. Feta, I'm not a huge feta fan.
I think feta. Well, so I think feta has to be paired correctly.
It has its place. With watermelon, it's really nice.
Oh yeah, I saw that feta watermelon burger on your Twitter feed. That looks so amazing.
I saw. Speaking of watermelon, I saw someone make a sashimi with like a vegan sashimi with watermelon. Am I saying the right word? I just want to make sure I'm using the right word. Like the fish on the rice. Sashimi. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm using the right term. I don't know. And it looks like a piece of salmon or a piece of tuna, but it's watermelon, and I really want to try that. I don't know. I saw it. And I was like, that looks really good.
And rice?
It works. I've seen people use it for red meat as well. Like smoke a whole watermelon for a few hours, and then it becomes like the texture just totally changes, and it looks really cool. Almost looks like a ham.
Mm-hmm.
But the sashimi method, and by the way, that usually is just the fish. When you put it on the rice, I think it's either nori or actually sushi.
The more you know. I wish we had that graphic that we could just play. That would be awesome. No, they marinate it in stuff. It's like soy sauce and
okay. So when you said that they smoke a watermelon, do they cut it open and do slices, or they just smoke the whole thing? They put the whole thing in the smoker.
I think I've seen it whole and already cut. Like they'll cut it first and then wrap it maybe or something. I don't know. I mean, I've seen it. I haven't done it.
All right. Well, I got
oh my God, it does look like ham. Look at this. Sorry, I just looked it up. That is hard for me to believe that is watermelon.
I'm so. It's like when it was like that cake trend of like you see something that looks like one thing and then they cut it and it turns out to be cake. That's the same sort of like disconnect I'm having in my brain right now.
8 servings, 5 hours plus 4 days.
I would think they would put the days before the hours.
Yeah, you have to brine it, I guess, for 4 for this particular recipe. You have to brine it for 4 days. I don't have that kind of time.
That's about the same amount of time if you were making an actual ham.
Yeah,
I guess that's true. Wow.
It's like, what am I going to eat for those 4 days?
Yeah, I know, right?
I've got to cook something while I'm cooking something. What's that?
My big TikTok hit though was I made a crown out of tater tots.
Oh, you did. We're 100% gonna watch it.
Cookbook.
You have a tater tot cookbook?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. This is.
I gotta see this.
Also, love the comments. Our king has risen.
All right, here we go.
Now this is
we can't listen to that. It'll get us. Get us muted. Oh, look at that!
And it held together.
Look at that! So much glue. How much glue did you use?
It was like that shellac stuff that you can get at Blick, and my whole apartment smelled terrible.
Oh, this was in the 500 square feet.
Yeah, and I was able to keep it for a while, and brought it around to different shows that I was on at the time to promote the book.
I was going to ask if you still had it, but I guess not.
Eventually, after like 2 years or so, I feel like it was like molding on the inside, perhaps.
Yeah.
2 years though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and I brought it to New York, I think, at one point on the train. And
did you just wear it on the train? I would have just worn it on the train.
I'm the king of New York.
Bow before me, Spuds. So your first cookbook is about stuffing things into other things. And then was your second book about tater tots? Or
Yes.
okay, so the second book was
tots.
tater tots.
And I actually have a few right here. Not tots, but my third book is comfort food mashups.
Oh, I love that.
It is basically like breakfast ramen. It has bacon and eggs and hash browns on a bowl of ramen. And then I wrote a book all about s'mores.
Oh man!
It has like a nice puffy little cover.
Oh, I love that.
And what's fun about this book is it's not about like the flavor combination of graham cracker, marshmallow, and chocolate. It's more about the look of a s'more. So as you go through it, you end up with like I have these that have bacon as the crust.
Oh, that looks so good.
But even as you get further, sorry, I'm going right to the end here.
Spoilers,
everybody.
It's actually just like mozzarella and tomato and cheese.
Oh yeah.
What kind of is that? Just a saltine?
It's like I don't know, like a focaccia cracker.
Oh, nice.
And then this one uses scallops as the marshmallow.
Oh wow. Yeah, it does look like a s'more.
I never would have thought savory s'mores.
I mean, I didn't at first either, but actually I weirdly wrote that scallop recipe like years and years ago. And when they came to me about the s'mores book and said, we want it to be like the shape and look of a s'more and not the flavors, I was like, that's interesting because I have this old recipe and I've always been interested in foods that like look like one thing and taste like another thing, like that ham.
Right?
So it really worked out.
Wait, so someone came to you and was like, "Can you write us a s'mores book?"
It's actually part of my whole, I guess, like the history of me writing books. Because my first book, as I mentioned, there were certain things that went a little weird with it, like that QVC thing. But I had been putting myself out there so much and taking a lot of interviews, and a publisher that was different than my first publisher came to my agent, who also does a lot of networking, and just was like, do you still work with that guy? We want to do a tater tot cookbook and we think he might be the guy for it. Which, first of all, is like really a great thing to hear when you know you've been like putting this work in and people recognize
like, oh, you understand
as, like,
me.
the tater tot guy. Exactly.
I love that when you find when your people find you. Yeah. I love this. You also have a nachos cookbook.
Yeah, so I just pretty much announced this yesterday, but I've been working on it for a really long time, and it comes out in January, and it's all recipes of nachos, but trying to make it like focused on eating it for dinner. It's called Nachos for Dinner, and instead of maybe like getting an appetizer and getting too full, or deciding not to get the appetizer because you think you will get too full, you're just having the nachos as dinner.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I love that.
Like, the nachos are you can't have anything better than nachos after nachos.
No.
Right, exactly.
That's part of that's not a staple, but it's something my wife and I do quite often. Is we'll have nachos for dinner. We bake them in the bake them in the oven, or if you don't want to do that, you can just pop them in the microwave. Chip still stays a little crunchy if you put it in the microwave. Just don't put it in there for too long. I've learned that lesson real quick.
I did a lot of broiling for the nachos, like because I like them to just be like nice and crisp on top. So usually I do just like a broil on the top. But yeah, I tried to focus on not like it's healthy by any means, but it's more of like a well-rounded nacho that has like hearty sort of meat or vegetables on top, maybe like a little less cheese and a lot of like fresh toppings like salsa. And that way you end up with something that you can like feel good about having for dinner. And they're all on a sheet pan. So I'm bringing in that sort of like sheet pan supper trend into the idea of nachos. And that way you also are one layer, so you're not like getting those naked chips on the bottom of the nachos.
Right.
Smart.
Yeah, that's my problem is I will when I do it, I don't
Mountain.
layer them out. I mound them, and I always forget, and then I just do it again. Repeat the same mistake. What would you say your top like nacho toppings are? Like your perfect nacho.
I mean, the classic is a perfect nacho. You know, like a little bit of taco meat, I guess, and some cheese, and then the usual stuff like nice chunky pico de gallo, which I don't know if you knew, it translates to the beak of the rooster.
What?
And they say that that's either because like people would basically pick it up like with your fingers like this to eat it, or it means that because like the jalapeno kind of looks like a rooster's beak. But yes, a nice fresh pico de gallo on top makes it nice. But I tried to do the idea of like classic suppers and then make them into nachos to really like lean into the theme of nachos for dinner. So I have like beef stroganoff nachos. There's
both Chloe and I's ears went up. Like if we had the German Shepherd ears, they would have both been up at that point. Like we were both of us kind of were like beef stroganoff nachos. We're from the Midwest. That sounds so good. So yeah, go ahead. Keep going on some of these other ones. I'm into it now.
I did like chicken and waffle nachos. I did some more inspired by a lot of like favorite takeout stuff. I did like mapo tofu nachos. I'm not sure if you've had larb from a Thai place, but I did cold nacho topped with chicken larb and a little coconut cream. And it was one of my favorites because you wouldn't expect really like a cold nacho to be that good, but it almost was like light and refreshing. I had it on like an August day on my rooftop when I first made it. I was like, this is something here.
Okay, so what is I don't think I know what larb is. I've heard of it. I think
ground chicken salad with a lot of fresh lime and maybe a little bit of mint mixed in, some shallots.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
That's really good.
Yeah, now all I can think about is nachos.
I'm psyched. I'm psyched about this nacho book.
Oh, and it's pretty gluten friendly because
I was gonna say nachos are good for me.
Right, because it's corn.
Corn chips. And so the first 1/3 of the book is more about components. So I actually helped open a burrito shop at one point in my life. So I knew a lot about these recipes anyways. So I did the first 1/3 is like, here's a ton of different salsas, but also like a sort of blueprint to make your own. Here's a bunch of different meats, and here's a bunch of different, different cheese ideas or cheese sauce, or how to make your own chips. And then once you finish that, I called it Nacho School. Once you finish that section, then you get to like the actual recipes.
Oh,
that's crazy.
That's so great because like then people that are more interested in like the technical aspects can like freestyle a little bit.
Yeah, and that all of my books, I kind of like the idea. I like them to be more of like inspiration than actual recipes that you follow exactly every time.
Yeah.
So especially if I give you a bunch of components and ideas to use those components, then you can really start to like make them your own.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I'm going to definitely 100% pre-order this book because that's just the exact kind of dinners we like to make. Like, I do a lot of the cooking just because I like to cook. Most of my we call them gloop meals because it's all just in a pan together, and it just we'll do stir fry up some veggies and then add stuff to it until it's just kind of I guess like a skillet meal, I guess is a less gross way of talking about it.
That'll be perfect for you when you have your upcoming child. Did I say that properly?
Yeah, sure.
Baby.
I mean, it is upcoming. It has not happened yet, so yes.
When you have your baby debut.
The baby debut.
Those will be perfect meals for you to have.
Oh man!
Yeah.
All right. And dessert. So you do some dessert nachos in there as well.
Yeah, I made the last chapter. I think it's called like breakfast and midnight snacks, and that's where some of the more weird and crazy ones are. And yeah, there's apple pie. So like I use the pie crust as the chips, and then you cook the sort of apple pie mixture in a pan and drizzle it on top of the crust chips.
Right, because do you cut them first and then bake the crust separate? I don't want you to give away the whole recipe. You got to get the book to get that.
Spoilers.
I put a link in the chat. That's where you can go to get Dan's cookbooks, because they all look really, really cool.
Oh yeah, someone mentioned Columbus's drive-through liquor stores.
Is that a that's a have you participated in those drive-through liquor stores?
I actually haven't because I don't know. I'm not. The problem is I feel like you go and you can't really see the selection of what they have there until you're like sitting there in the car, and there's less of like browsing. It's just a guy that comes to your window and says like, "What do you want?"
Yeah, and you got to know what you want. This is when you need prosecco like that, like where you're like, I'm going and getting prosecco. If I go in there, I'm going to get something other than prosecco.
Comfort alcohol.
And especially being in a new area, I'm the type of guy who's like, what are the local beers? What's the local like? There's actually a lot of distilleries out here, so I'm like, I want to just stand in a liquor store for like a half hour looking at literally every single option.
Yeah. And people get mad at you if you do that in the drive-thru, because they're just trying to. Yeah. We're like, tell me about this microbrew.
Can I sample some of these?
In the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just tasting. It's fine.
Trying it,
Just trying it. They should have the a row of open bottles there that they can just pour little bits into the cups.
Sounds like a great idea.
Not so much. So Dan, sorry, I want to back up just a little bit. What got you into writing cookbooks? What made you decide, hey, I'm going to write a cookbook? Because to me, that seems like a very I don't know. To me, that's kind of a hard book to write, like a huge undertaking.
Yes, yeah. It's actually an interesting path, I guess. I went to computer science school, actually business school. I went to Bentley in Waltham.
Oh, okay.
And I started working after that in the world of computer science and business. And I actually got the opportunity to move to Bermuda for a few years.
Oh, cool.
And it was cool because also when I started working after college, I was like, is this like the rest of my life? I kind of had that like instant crisis. So going to Bermuda was like, okay, no, I can do cool things, just like moving to Columbus,
Yeah.
Columbus and Bermuda.
They're very similar things. I believe they're on the same latitudinal. I'm not exactly sure where Bermuda is, but I think it's somewhere.
It actually isn't quite as far down as you think it is.
Yeah.
It's more like Atlanta level.
I think Florida is farther south than Bermuda is, which blew my mind when I found that out for the first time. I was like, you're messing with me right now. That's not a thing.
Well, Seattle and Boston are the same latitude, I think, as well. Something like that. Anyway, back to Bermuda.
Anyway.
So while I was there, I was doing a help desk type job. It was actually pretty good for like my career. Mm-hmm. And while I was doing that, I had a lot of extra time because Bermuda has like a little bit of a different work ethic, right? So it was nice. But I was missing the good Boston restaurants. And I hadn't really cooked much myself before. I grew up in an Italian American family, ate a lot of really good pasta. I was doing like taco kits for my friends and stuff, but never and I started getting like the itch to want to cook at that time. And then when I went to Bermuda, I was like, okay, I'm really actually cooking. I'm trying to recreate these meals, whether it be like fast food, because they didn't even have fast food there, or nice restaurant meals that I missed. And suddenly I was like, okay, I can practice my website stuff, make a website, build it, from the ground up, but also what am I going to post there? Okay, I'll put some of the stuff that I've cooked. And that way, when I make it for my friends, I can remember like what I changed, what I did, all that stuff. And then doing that for maybe 6 months, it took off. Like I got a better camera, lucked into a few good photos. Like I had no idea what I was doing. If you look at a lot of my photos at that time, it literally looks like throw up in a
but delicious throw up.
Yeah. But sometimes when I was cooking on the weekend instead of at night, it's good lighting. I just, I got lucky, took some good photos, got some traction on the website, and just loved it. And when I came back to Boston after a few years, I was taking interviews and people basically didn't think I was didn't count the Bermuda time, even though I had a super valuable, good job that I probably wouldn't have been able to get in Boston for 10 or 15 years. That was like what I wanted to do. But when I came back, they're like, this isn't value experience. I don't count it. And it was kind of like the heart of that recession. I don't know, like 2010 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was, I'm in these interviews and people were just basically kicking me out almost, or like just totally dismissing me. And I even went to one, I specifically remember this interview because it was for like a point of sale system for restaurants. And I'm like, I have the restaurant experience, I have the food knowledge, and I have the computer knowledge. And they like knew my family somehow. We found it out at the interview that my dad had like helped this guy get his first job. So I'm like, I'm in. This is like the job.
I was like, I got this in the bag.
Every literal like thing about it. And, they didn't really return my calls. And when I left that interview, I was like, I don't think I'm going to work in computer science anymore. That's it, And so I got a few food jobs like that burrito shop. I also worked at an ice cream place for a little bit, helping create the flavors and stuff.
Ooh, that sounds like that's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. And while I was doing those part-time, it helped me really focus on the website. And that's when the sort of influencer stuff started to emerge. And people were like, we will give you money to make a recipe with our pasta. We will give you money to make a recipe with our taco shells. It's like, wow, this is something that I never thought could be a way to make money or a thing that was even possible.
Right.
And eventually I started making enough to sustain myself. And during that time is when a few publishers had reached out to me and said, have you thought of writing a cookbook? And because I think this was also like a time where a lot of publishers were like, we got to get these bloggers and like sort of start utilizing them. So that's when I found my agent. She helped me negotiate my first deal and things went from there.
Oh, wow.
I'm so glad you asked that question. That's so cool.
I know. And now, Dan, when they make your life into a film, who is going to play? First of all, what's the title of the film? And B, who is playing you in the film?
Well, I guess it would be the food in my beard, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to stay on brand.
On brand.
Right. I wonder if Timothy Chalamet could grow a beard.
I mean, what else do they have to do?
He's hot right now, and that stays on brand with the influencer stuff. Like, you got to do what's hot at the moment. I think
I have to look up. I'm awful. I don't know who Timothy Chalamet is. Oh, it's that guy. Okay. I don't know that he could grow a beard because this is what he. I mean, this is what he looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's him with a mustache and goatee, and that.
Oh, that's very Three Musketeers look right there.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think they could do like what they did in The Irishman to Nick Offerman, and I think that would be he's got the beard to. Yeah. We know he can grow a beard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me your agent's number. I'll talk to them.
Capabilities.
We have to have beard capabilities.
They could always do prosthetics. Like they could glue a beard on. That's fine.
No, not in the movies.
No, nothing is fake in the movies.
It's all real. You can tell if a beard is fake. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
can?
just said him because I'm excited to watch Dune, the new Dune movie.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Dune looks real good. Let's do. This is gonna be a segment of the show anyway, and you brought it up, Dan. What else are you watching right now? Are you watching
watching?
Are there any food? Are there any good food shows that you're watching right now on the Netflix or the Hulu?
So for regular shows, we're doing all the trendy ones. We're right in the middle of 9 Perfect Strangers. We watched what's the one everyone's talking about? The White Lotus.
Yeah.
White Lotus. I've seen the first episode of that. I need to finish that.
Yeah. So all the usual stuff. For food, if you haven't seen High on the Hog, it's a fantastic Netflix documentary about African American and Black food in America and how it basically influenced like most of what we know as American food. There's only 4 episodes, and it's absolutely beautifully shot. It's super heartbreaking at times, but also very emotional in a good way, and it's great. It's great.
High on the Hog. I'm going to write that down because I do want to watch that.
Amazing, yeah.
And they're doing a 2nd season. So, and I love.
Oh, nice.
I watch Top Chef all the time. It was a great Top Chef season. Unfortunately, the winner has some allegations against him at his restaurant, which sucked because it was such a good season, and it was very heartwarming pandemic, all these great young chefs coming together. They all really supported each other and helped each other out, and it was a fun season to watch. And it didn't.
It didn't.
Right
end
when
well.
the guy
we can't
won,
have nice
they were
things.
oh, by the way, he got fired from his restaurant for this, and this. So.
Oof. Do you ever watch Hell's Kitchen? Are you a Gordon Ramsay? I don't know if you're a Gordon Ramsay fan. I follow him on TikTok. I love Gordon Ramsay.
I used to watch most of his shows. The one thing is people are kind of pushing back against him now because of the culture in restaurants being a little abusive, and he kind of perpetuated it. But I've loved his shows. He had the show called The F Word in the UK that was really fun to watch, and it showed his the good side of him. He was raising pigs with his family. It was really a great show.
Yeah, I watched that as well. I saw the episode where they raised the turkeys.
Children.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think a lot of the stuff that he does, especially on Hell's Kitchen, it's all his character.
Sure.
Because you'll see, he gets real with people. You see him get nice and really supportive with people. But then, of course, people pay to come to this restaurant, and part of the thing is they want to hear him freaking out in the kitchen, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's not good for the mental health of the.
He said his thing.
Yeah. Where's the bastard Wellington? I think that's my favorite.
Everyone in the dining room is yeah,
you get it. I got a bingo. They're all playing bingo.
Gordon Ramsay bingo.
I was actually on Guy's Grocery Games. I don't know if you ever saw that show.
Oh, cool.
What?
So, first of all, Guy Fieri is incredible.
Oh, he's an amazing
Everything I've
human
heard
being.
about him is just
people give him a lot of shit, but he's an amazing
I was
human
right
being.
there when he first burst on the scene with his ridiculous outfits and hair and stuff. I was what's this? I don't know about it. Once you watch the show and stuff, he's awesome. He's really just helping out all these restaurants with diners, drive-ins, and dives. He really supports people. And before I was on the show, I always said that would probably be the only show I would be on, because most cooking shows, first of all, Hell's Kitchen and Top Chef, these are for actual chefs, and I'm not that. And then,
you have 4 cookbooks out, and
but you're not a real chef.
But you're not a real chef.
I think to me, chef means the person who runs a kitchen and is in there day in, day out, and I don't have that speed or precision. I can do whatever. I can mess around in the kitchen and make some good food, but I'm not gonna dice an onion in a quarter of a second.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I've always said, and a lot of those shows though, they're trying to sabotage you. They're trying to make you look bad. And I've always noticed on Guy's Grocery Games, he's trying to make everyone look good. And so when they emailed me originally, I was like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe it. So it was great, and he was great. And
They reached out to you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, Dan, I think it's safe to say you're the most famous person we've had on this show, and we've been doing this show for over a year. So I mean,
over a year now.
We've had a lot of big people
chatting. So
yeah,
I would come on anytime.
Yeah, you're gonna make a great co-host. I'm very excited. Once I get you your notes and you make a few small changes, we'll be on it.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Dan. Thank you so much. You've been hanging out like a trooper, just chatting with us, and that's awesome. I don't want to keep you from your day. I'm sure you've got lots of like cooking to do and cookbooks to write. So I just want to do. IKEA. Oh, you're gonna go to IKEA today? Well, that's gonna take a bit. So.
What a great adventure. I'm a total weirdo because sometimes I'll go to IKEA without a specific purchase in mind.
I've never been to an IKEA. I've eaten IKEA cinnamon rolls and they're amazing.
All right, well, Matt, we're gonna do a trip to IKEA. We're gonna record it. We're gonna do some clips on the show.
I'm free today if you want to come pick me up. I can be ready by the show's over at 11. I can be ready by 11:45. Perfect. What am I talking about? 11:45. I'm basically ready. You just have to come pick me up. So, anyway. I want to do a quick round of one's gotta go. I found some pictures of food, and we're going to start with breakfast. Okay, of breakfast, one of these has to go. You've got pancakes, cereal, waffles, or French toast. Which one of those would you say would have to go?
So, I'm a very subjective person,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also sometimes really literal. So when I see these, I start crying that I'm never gonna.
I didn't realize this was going to be so emotional for you.
And my second thing is I can't just say one. I have to give my rationale. So the thing is, I probably least like French toast on this list, but pancakes and waffles are very similar. So my brain says get rid of one of those, so I have variety still.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I guess my answer is probably pancakes.
Okay.
Well, so here's what I'm thinking. Okay, so that's if I get rid of French toast, will I be able to have regular toast?
No. Toast, all bread is gone forever. No, it's just French toast. So yes, you can still have regular, I guess, American toast.
I'll probably get rid of the French toast then. Because it's hard to do well.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go with Dan on this. I would probably get rid of pancakes because I like waffles. But I love pancakes, especially if they have got that nice crispy edge around it. But waffles, to me, it's all crispy edges, and you still it's still a conveyance of butter and syrup into my system. And I love French toast. I love French toast is. There's a place in Somerville called S&S Diner. Did you ever get to go there, Dan? Did you go to S&S?
Once, yeah.
Did you ever have their croissant French toast?
No, but it sounds great.
Oh my God, it was the best. It was the best thing ever. It was so good. It was so good.
Also, highly recommend challah French toast.
Yep.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I made a French toast out of tortillas once. That was pretty good.
Huh? Like nice and thin and.
Yeah, so I put them into a small cast iron and layered them up with layers of eggs and stuff in between, and some mascarpone cheese. Really nice.
That sounds amazing. I saw somebody do something similar to that with a scallion and made a stacked scallion pancake, but with the flour tortillas and just doing layers and layers and layers. Oh, it looks so good.
I'm gonna have to like eat immediately after this.
Yeah, no, immediately after this, I'm going to have to do something. Yeah. There was a place in Champaign, Illinois called Sam's Diner. And it's a place that's literally only open from like 7 a.m. till like 1 or 2. Like they do breakfast and lunch and that's it. But they do a French toast where they put pancake batter on top of the French toast. So while it's on the griddle, they put some pancake batter on it. So it's like French toast are surrounded by pancakes, and it's so good. Like
it could be in my stuffed book.
Like I would I'd look them up. Sam's Diner there in Champaign, Illinois. They're fantastic. If you're ever in that area, go there for breakfast. Sam's is amazing. All right. Okay. Are you a fast food fan? Do you eat fast food?
I eat everything.
Okay, great. So here we go. KFC, McDonald's, Taco Bell, or Subway?
This is no question Subway. Goodbye.
Subway, 100% Subway?
Yeah.
Get out of here, Subway.
Chloe?
They're trying to be something that they're not, you know? So
yeah, Subway, you were cool for a while, but there are other good sandwich places.
It's true.
Whereas, I mean, the rest...
You can't say goodbye to the Crunchwrap Supreme.
How can you do that? That's ridiculous.
How could you?
All right. Now, and you're also into comfort food. You've got the comfort food book. So this final one here is we've got macaroni and cheese, amazing mashed potatoes and gravy. It looks like sweet potatoes and stuffing. Which one of these would have to go? This is probably the hardest of all of them because I love every single one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting rid of the sweet potatoes.
Mm.
I mean, I can still have sweet potato fries, right?
Yeah, you just can't have sweet potatoes made like this.
Yeah.
So you could make sweet potatoes other.
Plus, that's the most vegetable-ish one. I just want to eat straight carbs and cheese to my face.
Yeah. And honestly, those mashed potatoes look like those are the most delicious mashed potatoes in the world. Like something about that gravy, like that chicken or turkey gravy.
Fluffy, you know?
Yeah. All right.
I'd get rid of the stuffing.
You would.
I would.
Miss Gluten. You just hate gluten.
Get out of here,
I have a
gluten.
tater tot stuffing in the top book that is gluten free, and he uses tater tots instead of bread. So I check that out this Thanksgiving.
Oh my god!
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I'm doing. Yep, I'm gonna go on to your website. I'm gonna buy all your books, and I mean that's what we got to do. Dan, thank you so much for coming on the show and chatting with us and hanging out with us for, almost 45 minutes. We, scheduled for 20, stay for 45. We appreciate you, and we're glad that you could stay and chat with us today. We did. We covered a gamut of things. So go buy all of Dan's books. Give him a follow on the Twitch if you haven't already.
Usually stream like either Thursday or Friday afternoon and make a recipe. It takes like an hour, make it start to finish. And I do 2 cameras so you can see like the food close up and my face in the corner. You need to see my face.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then, so go and follow that. I just followed you, Dan. Very excited to get those, to watch those cooking videos. That sounds awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and
thank you both for having me.
Yeah, we'll have to have you come back on and do some like cooking for us. That's what they do on morning shows,
cool,
right?
Actually, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we just wouldn't be able to eat it, which would suck. All right, Dan. Enjoy your day.
Hey,
Mail it to
See ya.
later. Bye.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's so great.
So great. What a wonderful guest, and he stuck around and chatted with us for a good long time. So go check out Dan, the Food in My Beard.
Nachos.
Check out his let's get that follower count up there.
Yeah. Oh. Now I'm just thinking about food.
Now literally that's all I can think about is food.
That's all we can think about. Wow. Anyway.
Well, let's think about perfume. Let's think about
think about perfume, shall we?
Let's think about something other than food for a second.
Okay.
So we were going to do this last week, but we didn't have time. So
things that smell delicious.
Yes, there we go.
So, when I was hanging out with my friend Lily in Buffalo, recovering from my concussion, so she's really into perfume, and we started talking about perfume and stuff, and she was talking about how Rihanna is coming out with a new fragrance through her Fenty brand.
Okay.
And I was doing research on this, and it turns out that Rihanna is the best smelling celebrity.
Oh, is she now?
Yeah. So the way that everybody who meets Guy Fieri is Guy Fieri is a really cool dude. When people meet Rihanna, they're like, she smells amazing. And
That's what I want people to smell about me. That's what I want people to say about me. That Matt, he smells amazing.
That was my thought. I was like, I could smell amazing.
You could.
And so I got hyper fixated, and I'm was doing all this research. I gotta say, I love reading perfume reviews. There was one that I was looking at, and it was imagine you're on a cliffside and a hot Irish dude in a sweater comes up to you. That's what this smells like. I was like, what?
I want to smell like that. I want to smell like that.
But so I ended up going to. They just opened a Sephora near me, which is, oh boy, I'm never gonna financially recover from this one.
Yeah. Chloe does personal training. Please sign up with Chloe for personal training. She needs the money so she can support her Sephora habit.
So I can support my perfume addiction. But I got. So you can get these sampler boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And they come with 6 different perfumes, and it's just the little ones like this.
But how much do you get out of it? How you don't use much of it, right?
Yeah. You can get quite a bit of use even out of these little ones, because you have to buy the box and I think it was $68, but it's a full bottle of perfume for a lot of brands is $200.
Really? It's that expensive?
Yeah. Which is another thing I learned. And also they're huge bottles, and apparently the unofficial expiration date on perfume is it only lasts for a year. So I think
so it makes sense to get these little packages.
So generally it does last a little bit longer than that. The scent might degrade a little bit, but generally perfumes last a little bit longer than that. But at the same time, it's if you get a huge bottle of this, unless you're planning on it being your signature scent and wearing it every single day, there's no way you're going to use all of that. No. So you might as well just get a little one, the travel size ones that they have, because that's an insane amount of perfume, and I was also reading they were talking about great scents for fall. I'm seasonal perfumes too now? How are we going to go through all of this?
Yeah, especially if you could. I mean, you'd really have to lay it on over the course of a season.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Unless you always wanted to smell like fall.
If that's.
I'm okay with that.
Fall smells delicious.
Fall smells delicious.
I almost said small fells delicious.
Small fells delicious.
Small fells delicious.
By Small Fells.
With this sample box, you get 6 of these, and they give you this little card with the descriptions, and you can write little notes to yourself of
I was going to say, they gave you a card. Is it from Rihanna? It's a little card saying, thank you for buying my perfumes. Love, Rihanna.
Yeah. Well, this is the Sephora Sampler.
Oh.
So it's just, and I got the clean perfumes set, which if you're unfamiliar with that, it's basically, clean perfumes they tend to have fewer ingredients. They have more, they're tend to be more hypoallergenic. They tend to lean towards like vegan and sustainable ingredients, stuff like that.
So the good stuff.
Yeah. Which for me, like being hypoallergenic is very important because I'm allergic to a lot of things.
Right.
And I've been trying all of these.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give you my descriptions and reviews.
Oh, wonderful.
So one of them, I made a mistake. I like threw it away because I hated it so much. So we'll review that one first. It has a picture of it right here. So this is by Rosie Jane. And my thoughts on this one, it's supposed to be, so the description, feels like your favorite jeans and a white tee, sexy and everyday. I created this fragrance when I was a makeup artist and wanted an easy to wear, soft but signature scent. It's supposed to be floral. It smells like Irish Spring soap.
Oh.
I don't know how else to.
But I like the smell of Irish Spring soap. Like that's one of those soaps. If you use it, you're like, okay, I'm up.
Yeah, but like.
As a scent, though, I don't know.
As a scent, and as like a soap, you just use Irish Spring soap.
It's cheaper. It's so much cheaper.
Like it feels weird to be spraying soap onto your wrists. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in that. It's not a signature scent. It doesn't smell like a jeans and t-shirt. It smells like an
Irishman in a sweater walking towards you on a cliff. And he says to you, here's some soap.
Wash yourself.
Wash yourself. You're filthy. When was the last time you showered?
All right. So the next one I'm going to do is the Maison Louis Marie.
Maison Louis Marie.
Yes.
Oh.
Sounds very fancy.
Numero 4.
Yeah. And so it's a sandalwood fragrance with a dominant cedarwood and sandalwood accord, supplemented by a spicy cinnamon nutmeg complex with an earthy vetiver note. Vetiver, paraben, sulfate, and phthalate free. So you expect it to be a little bit sweet. It's just spicy.
It's just spicy. Because spicy. It's cedar and sandalwood?
Yeah. And
those are two very smelly woods. Like, they both smell amazing.
They're both good. So it mostly smells like the cedar wood. Like you expect with the amber wood and the nutmeg and cinnamon underneath, you'd have more of like a fall, little bit sweeter scent. It's mostly just the sharp
cedar wood
top notes. Still nice, but it's spicy. It's a spicy scent. It's not quite what I was looking for.
Spicy. Right. I get that.
It's spicy. Next one we got is the Ellis salt.
It's just salt?
This is salt.
Salt.
Yep. It's just salt.
And does it smell like salt?
It smells like if you go to a vacation house off the coast of North Carolina, and they have a beach themed bathroom,
and it wasn't really well cleaned.
Potpourri in there, yeah.
It smells like if I've been out in the ocean for a couple of hours and the salt is kind of caked onto my skin with the sweat and sand and mustard from the corn dog I ate on the beach. That's what it smells like. Chloe, it doesn't sound to me like you really enjoy any of these scents.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm building up. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very this one is a very like stereotypical beach smell.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like
so
sort of a
seaweed,
light floral.
seaweed,
Actually,
and rotting dead fish.
That's this one. That's
Oh.
Salt Air by Skylar.
Come on,
The
Skylar.
notes in here are driftwood, sea salt, and seaweed.
Driftwood does not like. Those are three things I don't want to smell like.
Yeah. And this one is it's actually like a little bit warmer. It's not like as salty.
Okay.
You know, because the seaweed and the sea salt, they seem very salty scents. It's not as salty. This one's actually like pretty subtle, pretty nice. Again, a very like stereotypical beach smell.
Gotcha.
So not bad. Like, but also not what not for me. Yeah. It's like
So of the collection you have there, what one is for you?
I liked these two.
Okay.
So this one is from the Seven Virtues, which is a really nice company, and it supports. It's vegan, cruelty-free, phthalate-free, paraben-free, made with organic, fair trade stuff. And this one is vanilla.
Ooh,
and it's
I do love the smell of vanilla.
It's like just vanilla. If you want to smell like vanilla, this is it.
That's perfect.
They had a couple other ones in the store that I tried that were also smelled really nice. But this one came with a sampler pack. So if you're going for vanilla, this is a good one. The one that I liked the most was the Clean Reserve Radiant Nectar.
Yes, Radiant Nectar.
Radiant Nectar. So it has a little bit of that vanilla smell to it. And again, this one is also eco-conscious and sustainable. And it's described as a floral musk.
Who doesn't love a good floral musk?
Yeah, and you can.
That's Elon's sister. Is floral musk.
They'll tell you what you can pair it with. So there are other scents in their line that like you can mix and match, which is a thing you can do. You can mix perfumes.
What? That sounds crazy.
Sparkling pear nectar captures you instantly. Meanwhile, sustainable ambrette seeds create a natural musk that lingers on the skin, met by intoxicating warm orris butter, white cedarwood, and liquid musk for an addictive dynamic.
Ooh.
And it's like sweet.
Liquid musk sounds gross.
It really does. So it's like sweet, but it's not overpowering.
But it's also musky.
And a little musky. So, I'm into it.
King Senor recommends Angel perfume with chocolate, vanilla, and patchouli. I can't do patchouli. Patchouli is not a scent I can deal with after college. I smelled too much of it in college, and it just takes me to places I don't want to go.
Scent is a very powerful.
It is.
Sense. It's very attached to memory, so that tracks.
Now this isn't a perfume, but Trader Joe's does these candles, does these scented candles.
Oh yeah, those
and
are
they have
so
their summer pack had a strawberry basil.
Oh yeah, I got that.
And this one's so good. And then they also have a let me see if I can find
they have like a watermelon mint or something like that.
This is my favorite one, peach black tea.
Oh yeah.
Like this smells so this smells so good. Like I have these I have a stockpile of about 6 of these because you go into Trader Joe's and you buy these candles and then you go to buy them again and they're gone. So they're seasonal. So you have to stock up on them when they have them. Otherwise you're SOL. But they're fall. This is one of their fall scents, and their fall and winter scents are by far.
Oh, they're amazing.
My favorite.
They have a fir. There's like a fir tree.
Yeah.
Smells like
so good.
It's good.
So good. Well, that's our show. I mean, we've gone over time talking about scents. We've talked about food. and
everybody learned something.
smelling stuff. And man, what a show it has been. Super big thanks to Dan Whalen for coming in. If you have not yet followed him on Twitch, go to The Food in My Beard on Twitch.
Good stuff.
I'm going to put that link in the chat just so everybody can click on it and go over there and give a follow to Dan there and watch and get notified whenever he comes on to cook something. Also follow him on the TikTok. If you're on the TikTok, by all means, it's at TFIMB on TikTok. TIMFB on TikTok. I say that, and I say it again because I was typing it. So, yeah.
TFIMB.
Yeah. No, that's wrong. What I put in the TFIMB.
We're gonna figure this out. All right.
Yeah. 20 minutes later, we figured it out. I'm the worst. Thank you all so much for watching tonight, 9 o'clock, or no, it's Friday. I don't know what's going on tonight I believe it's a 69 minutes of sex with me night, which would be great if you like
a comedy line game.
Yes. To be clear, it is a very, very funny show with lots of dirty, gross puns. So if that's your thing, tune in tonight. Maybe, if that is in fact happening tonight. But thanks for watching. Follow, subscribe, give us all that support if you like watching stuff here on 2MB, because we sure do like doing it. So thanks, y'all. Chloe, have a wonderful rest of your day.
Happy weekend,
Happy weekend. And we'll see you next Friday.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.